guys, today we're going to show you how to make a native bee home with little more than a tin can, some paper, some scissors, and a few markers. So we talk a lot about honeybees because those are the bees that make honey, and who doesn't love honey, right? But honeybees actually aren't native to North America. They're native to Europe, Asia, and Africa. They were brought here in the 1600s with European settlers. However, there are all sorts of bees that are native to North America. There's over 7,000 species of native bees here in this country. They don't live in big colonies like honeybees do. So a honeybee colony can be anywhere from 30 to 60,000 bees. Native bees work a little bit differently, where you generally have one bee that lays maybe just a few eggs each season. The one exception to this is bumblebees. Bumblebees do live in colonies of 200 to 300 bees. So like honeybees, but with far less bees. The type of home we're going to build today is for two types of bees that we have native here in this country. Those are called mason bees and leafcutter bees. So both mason bees and leafcutter bees look for empty reeds like this in order to build their nest inside the reed. So what the mother queen will do is she will gather materials to build little chambers in these reeds, and she will lay an egg on a drop of pollen in each chamber. So mason bees are going to use mud to build their home, and leafcutter bees are going to use leaves. So you can find pieces of bamboo like this to make your bee home, which you may have available to you, but if not, I'm going to show you how you can do that with just a few materials you have at home. What you want to do is you want to get a tin can. This is a little bit smaller than I would like for us to use, but it's all that I had. If you've got a much larger can that crushed tomatoes come in, that's what you should preferably use. But this is what we've got, so this is what I'm going to use for today. So make sure it's clean and pull off the label. Next, you want to get a stack of just plain paper, okay? And we're going to cut the paper to the length of our metal can. You don't want it to be any longer. Okay. Next, just cut your paper to the length of the can, like so. Okay, now to make our little reeds like this, we're just going to wrap the paper around pencils or small markers. So you can make different size reeds because different types of bees will nest in different sizes. But I find that the smaller, thinner markers and pencils make the perfect template. So I'm just going to take my pencil, wrap my paper around it. Once you get a few turns, pull the pencil out and then just roll. All right, and once you get to the end, you can use glue or you can use tape. And I'm gonna use tape because I think it's a little bit easier. I'm just gonna tape. Okay, and then we've got one reed. One thing you can also do is you can take markers and you can color the end of your little reed here. This does help, so when we fill our can up with all of our reeds, you'll have one queen will nest in each reed. And so putting a little color at the end will help the different bees find their home. So you can see I've made a couple already. And you can see that I've made them all different colors here, different colors and different sizes. So I'll make this one a little bit bigger by using a little bit of a larger template here. Roll it up. Use some tape or glue. Put a little color on the end. All right, so you're gonna keep doing this until you fill your can all the way up. Once you get your can filled all the way up, we're a couple shy here, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next step. Take some twine or some rope, and you're just gonna make a hanger on your can. By the way, it's important that you make sure that your reeds don't extend beyond the end of the can, because if they do, they can get wet when the rain comes, and you don't want that. Okay, so I'm just tying a little knot here, and then you can hang your can up next to a fence post or up next to a tree. Be sure that however you hang it, it's not such that the can can fling around in the wind. The bees won't nest if so. So if you wanted to put it on a fence line, for example, you'd want to hang it flush with the fence so that it doesn't blow around. Once you've got your hanger on your native bee home, then you can just hang it. A few pointers. You want to make sure to hang your native bee home where it's going to get morning sun. Also, try to hang it 3 to 6 feet off the ground, so you don't want it too close to the ground. Now remember that mason bees and leafcutter bees have a pretty short season, so it might take a while for bees to nest in your home, but try to be patient. If you want mason bees, it's particularly important that you hang the home somewhere where they might have mud ready nearby to build in the home. Also, make sure you've got lots of beautiful things planted in your yard for the bees. They won't nest too far away from food. Okay guys, thanks for tuning in. If you build a native bee home, please send us a picture. We love to see what yours looks like. You can get really creative with it. And we'll see you next time.